Hi, and welcome to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We are your hosts, Andrea Pertel and Celia Milton, and we are both professional wedding officiants here in the state of New Jersey. And this podcast is all about planning your wedding here in New Jersey. And thank you for joining us today. Hello, Celia.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, great. I'm
I'm good.
doing
Well,
great today.
me too. I noticed, we say planning your wedding in New Jersey, and it really just occurred to me the other day that a lot of the people who are going to our Benable list, where we have all our guests in one place. So if you listen to this and you don't know how to find them, you can go to Benable and find all of them right there. But it's really interesting because most of the people who visit our Benable referral list are from other states and other countries.
Yes, that is interesting, isn't it?
Interesting, right? It makes it easy to plan it from
And I
from
suppose a
customers.
lot about what we talk about as far as ceremonies and unity rituals you might want to put in and other advice we give can be used for weddings anywhere.
Oh,
Um,
yes,
the
of
thing
course.
about it being New Jersey is we have a lot of guests from New
Yeah.
Jersey,
Yeah.
vendors, venues that we
Yeah.
highlight.
Yeah, but they will have great advice for, any place that you are, which is, I think that's really kind of sweet. We're going to talk a little bit in this kind of prequel to a much more fun. Let's see, do we want to talk about budgets or cake? I don't know. I think cake is the clear winner, but we're going to start out with budgets, which will lead us seamlessly into cakes.
Yes.
Um, we talk about like wedding budgets, and the big things usually come first. The great, fantastic place that has wonderful, wonderful food. You need great music, whether it's a DJ or a band or a combination of the two. Of course, you need a fantastic ceremony because it's going to put everybody in a wonderful mood. So, yay.
That what a
And
way to
yeah,
start the
yeah,
day,
of
right?
course. And you need a great photographer to capture all of that for you. But, then you kind of get that all in place. And now, like, you're like, whoa, what do I need now? We need a lot of this little stuff. And you know what? A lot of the little stuff, honestly, you really just don't need. Your venue, no matter where you pick, whether you're at the local ambulance corps with a caterer or whether you're at like the Venetian, no matter what you pick, it's going to be more expensive than you thought. That is just a given.
Just a
So
given. Yeah.
it is. And, maybe you cut your guest list, which is a perfectly fabulous idea.
Hmm.
We're all about our micros and our, middle-sized weddings and elopements, fantastic. But then you're going to get inevitably to that point where you're thinking about all the little stuff that you could include, like programs, which everybody will leave on their seat, because unless you have an intricate ceremony, or if you're having a Hindu ceremony, or you're having a Stefana, or you're having a very traditional ceremony in a church where there's a lot of parts that people haven't encountered before, you really just don't need a program. Um,
No, the programs are always left behind. They
they're
really
always
are.
there.
It's kind of a
No,
waste of money, a waste of paper,
it
of
is.
resources in all ways, whether the resource is money or the paper it was printed on. Nobody keeps that program. I kept a program or two when I first started 14 years ago
Me
if my
too. I
if my
know.
name was in it.
I know. It's like I'm real. I did a wedding. Yay. But
I think it's
even
not
like stuff like
necessary.
even stuff like menus. Now, a lot of the venues that I work in, and probably you too, will print up a menu
Mhm.
for, and they have things like direction cards that you can put into your invitations. But, stuff like that, that cute sign that says, I'm vodka. You can dance.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Nobody is going to leave your wedding thinking like, that was like the best wedding on the planet, except there wasn't a cute sign. It's not just you don't need any of that stuff. But and favors kind of falls into that category. I have a couple in my office that I just feel bad getting rid of, I do. I feel bad because I love the people and I thought it was very sweet that they thought to give me one,
Yeah.
but it's eventually has to go. And I'm sure that many of the guests, when they get that shot glass that has your wedding date and your names on it, are like, we need to take this.
Or the
but
candle or the
or the candle or like,
the
any
little
number of things that the
little
koozie,
bitty jar of
I know
sand. You know?
it's just waiting for that garage sale and nobody else wants it either, and
Yeah.
it's just, but the, the, the outlier is anything food related, whether
Ooh, I
it's
want
like, I know,
food.
right? I
Yeah,
know.
a
I had a,
food
I had
gift
a,
is great.
I just
Yes.
did really, it's like whether it's like one of those cute little s'more kits. I know that's not an earth-shattering idea that's been around for a couple of years, but it's so cute.
I'll take it.
I know, I love it. And like the little jars of honey. We actually have I
Oh,
have a
yeah, the
vendor.
little jars of
I
honey.
love
Yeah.
that. I have a vendor that I met. I have to find them. I have a vendor that I met at a wedding show, and they're right here in New Jersey. They do their own honey and they put them in these cute little jars, and it says something like, be our friends forever or something like that.
I like
But
that.
I
Yes.
do, I do. But I've had, man, maybe you have too. I've had a lot of people telling me, and I'm never there at the end, but telling me that they're going to have a food truck at the end. They're going to have like a
Love
shaved ice truck.
the
Or
late night food truck.
I
Yeah,
know, isn't that
love
like the,
that.
that's like a great favorite. One of my vendors, one of my venues rather, and I love them, Rock Island Lake Club. They have actually, they did a recent renovation. I mean, I don't know what they renovated because it was gorgeous to begin with, but they put like a tiny little fast food stand in the corner before you leave, so you can get like a hamburger and fries to go.
On the way out.
I
That's
know, is
so
that like the
sweet.
cutest? I can't even, it's so cute. But like the food truck idea, like an ice cream truck or like a gelato truck or an espresso truck. I don't know that there are Prosecco trucks too, but I don't know if that's the best idea for people leaving your wedding. Um, but the company that we're gonna talk to, Chocolate Carousel, I am so hungry now. I can't hate them more. Um, they do things like cake pops and cookies and all kinds of edible favors. I think that's a great idea, right?
I love it. I think that's the best. I think you get home and you kick off your shoes from a fabulous wedding. Your feet hurt because you were dancing
And
all
so, yeah,
night
you
and having a
are.
great time.
Yeah.
And now it's like, ooh, we got a little midnight snack. Or you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, look what we can have. And I'm not making breakfast. We're eating these cake pops.
We're eating these cake pops. It's like, it's
Pops
just
and
like a
coffee.
muffin. It's sort of like a muffin, only smaller. It's perfectly acceptable.
Or you're coming home to your kids, maybe you let the sitter leave and
Yeah.
cakes, "Oh, look what I brought you back."
I love that idea.
Cookies from the wedding.
I love that.
Oh,
And I bet now I don't know that we talked to Lisa about cookies, but I bet she makes gorgeous like
they're
little
on her website, you can see
oh
she makes
oh
all kinds of gorgeous cookies
oh,
too.
I
Yes.
bet, I bet. That's really a tradition. There's the Pittsburgh cookie table tradition where the families of the people who are getting married make these insane amounts of cookies. And they set up what is essentially a cookie charcuterie table at the end with those little, okay, we're old enough to remember those little like kind of wax paper bags that used to put sandwiches in, those little like
Yes.
glassine bags. They have
Yeah.
like a big basket of those and you pack your own little favor. But it's so pretty. And in that case, it's really kind of a community thing too, like the community bringing this big giant array of cookies for people to have to take home. I love that. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, what a great sentiment. What a great I hadn't heard about this until you told me and then a quick Google search.
Oh my God, I know.
Well, you'll see it and yeah, I think it's kind of making a comeback. It's great. I
I
love
think
it.
it's so personal and it's not like, oh, like what are we going to get for a favor? And you listen, you've just provided a fabulous night with wonderful food and music and dancing and drinks and a fabulous cake at the end, of course. And that's I don't know where favors came from. Well, when back in my day, like again, like right after fire, the only the only favors that there were like Jordan almonds in a little bag. Nobody ate them. I think they were invented by dentists. Nobody
Yeah.
ate those things, but that's what you gave people. It was like a lucky thing. And
Yeah, they represent luck or something,
yeah,
right?
I know. They represent like you used to have a tooth and now you don't anymore. That's what they represent. Yeah, but it kind of like morphed into this industry. Although we had a live painter on a few months ago and she mentioned that she did little quick paintings or not caricatures really, but as favors. And I thought, well,
That's a
that's like a
great
pretty
idea.
fabulous idea. I kind of
Yeah,
like it.
something to treasure that that's personal to you.
Yeah,
That's an interesting, that's a fun favor,
I
to
think
go
so
home
too.
with.
I'm trying to think of anything else what have you ever taken home from a wedding that they gave you that you kept?
I have a couple of things on my desk here, like a thing of sand, but I just keep that as
I have one of those too.
a nicety. I'm trying to think of the last wedding I attended. I can't even remember what the favor was. What was the
I have,
favor? I can't even remember what it was.
you know what? I have a little compass that I kept. Um,
That's nice.
it was great because the couple met in grad school and then proceeded to move like all over the world for different jobs. And
It was part of
they
their
I
story,
know
huh?
it was great. And it was kind of cute too. It's like, wherever you go, there you are. It was very sweet. But,
Oh,
I don't know. You can skip the shot glasses. You really can. Yeah.
right. And and the candle.
And the candle. I love a good candle, but the point is it's like when you get down to the budget and you're like, oh, what are we going to do about this budget? There's a lot of things you can get rid of. There's a lot of paper products you can get rid of.
Right.
There's like, there's even menu stuff that you can get rid of. I mean, honestly, in New
Don't
Jersey,
need
you don't need
repetitive
just
stuff. You don't need, really think about it. Are you really going to need it? You don't need the giant dolphin ice sculpture. Now, the only ice sculpture you do need is like if they have if it's the luge for
Oh
doing
yeah.
shots during
There you go.
that's fun. Or
Oh,
if
that's a
it's an ice
utility.
sculpture
Yeah.
of your dog. Yeah, but what's it? Is that a Jersey Shore thing? The ice sculpture of the
No,
dolphin? I
no,
don't
no.
know what.
Well, maybe the dolphin, but I've had many
The
ice dogs
swan,
in
look
my
at that.
this I
What?
don't I think that people think it's elegant, but it was elegant like 20 years ago. It's like,
The 80s.
no, not really so much. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go there. You know where I'm going. It's like a
No.
prosciutto tree.
Oh, with a prosciutto tree.
But I think like a rethinking of your budget, after when you make your budget, originally you make your budget, you're not going to know what anything costs. So the fact that it's going to go up should not be shocking to people. There's a lot of ways to deal with that. The best way to deal with it is to get rid of, a lot of those people that, you really don't want them there, and they're going to open the envelope and go, "Oh, we have to go to a wedding," instead of, "Oh boy, oh, this is so great. John and Sally are getting married." And be like, "Oh God, we have to go to this." It's
Yeah.
like just like cut that, nip that in the bud. But
And then
the
keep the
budget,
other stuff simple. Make a list of what's fun for
really,
you to have,
really,
what
what do you
you would
want?
notice at a wedding and what's a lot of fun for you to have. Because you don't have to have all of that. You don't have to
No,
have
you
a
really don't.
sign for every thing you're doing. You don't have to have things like that. If there are things that you want and you don't want to spend a lot of money on them. There are a lot of Facebook groups, I'm certain, in
Yes.
all areas. So
Yep.
wherever you live, look for a wedding Facebook group where they sell their things, that they will have signs for sale or
Yes.
centerpieces
And
that you can
vases. Yes.
you can,
Okay.
get
Here's
those half
a
price. Why not?
shameless organic plug for my own group called, when I have no interest. I mean, not, I don't have any, I'm very interested in it, but I don't benefit from it in any way. It's called Recycle Your North Jersey Wedding.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
great. People put
And
I'll put a link on the end of this, when we publish this.
okay, great.
Um, People go in there and they sell, I've got 300 votive lights that we didn't end up using, or all these vases, or, the wooden.
It's nowadays, it's not just about saving money, it's about saving resources.
It
There's
is.
so
You're
much in the
very right.
garbage
You're
that we
right.
can't keep up with the landfill. So
Yeah.
why not reuse?
Yeah. And wooden.
Reuse, save the earth a little bit and save some money as you do it.
I like it. And there are dresses, I mean, with the, kind of popularity of people having like, uh, their wedding dress per se for the ceremony, and then changing into a little reception dress, later on. there are dresses on there, there's decor on there, there's all kinds of things on there. And I think it's really, yeah, you're right. It's not only the money, it's the resources. It's being responsible about that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it.
I like that a lot. Might as well get, we recycle and stuff. So,
Yeah, we do.
so do that. So, all right.
Also,
Um,
we're ready for this. Like we had I had such a good time talking to Lisa, and I would say to anybody, go and look at their website because her work is, I love her spirit and, her dedication to this and, her dedication also to giving opportunities for other people to
in
grow within the industry, which I
within
think
her
is
industry. Folks, we're talking about the interview that's coming up right now,
like right now.
with Lisa, the owner of Chocolate Carousel. She makes beautiful, her and her staff make
Oh my
beautiful
God,
wedding cakes,
gorgeous.
all kinds of desserts. So you can get your dessert favors from her as well.
There you go.
She is a dedicated professional, loves her job. When she talked about the feel good part of it,
Mm,
being part of that, the couple's day, and how it gives her a thrill on the weekends, thinking of all the
I
different
know,
places her
right?
cakes are going to. And I just think that that's a beautiful, but she's you're not only an artist, but a great business person, and just fabulous. I think
Yeah.
stay tuned. You're really going to enjoy
And
this interview.
inspiring story about following your dreams and
Yes.
making them come true in the absolutely most delicious way.
Yes. All right. So stay tuned and enjoy this interview with Chocolate Carousel.
Well, we are so excited to welcome Lisa Parada, the owner and executive pastry chef of the Chocolate Carousel, a beautiful gourmet dessert shop in Wall, New Jersey. They work with couples throughout the state to design their wedding cakes, and they have a very innovative process for doing that. She's going to talk about that. They also offer edible favors and desserts to make everybody's celebration a little bit sweeter. I have to say that I'm really mad at her right now because her video makes me want to eat an entire cake for breakfast. So, Lisa, welcome. We're so glad to have you as a guest. Tell us all about your fabulous, gorgeous place.
Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to talk with you guys about Chocolate Carousel.
Hmm.
Chocolate Carousel is a labor of love for me and has been a big joy of my life for the last 22 years. So I
Wow.
always love to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
22 years.
I'm a fan. I am located near your shop myself, and I'm sure you go all over New Jersey, but I see your amazing wedding cakes at so many of the weddings that I do here at some of the venues I'm always over at, Clark's Landing or the Mill Lakeside Manor. I always see your cakes there. It's just amazing. I'm like, oh, it's Chocolate Carousel.
Well, it's fun that you see them all over the place and it's very exciting for us. I get giddy on Saturday night when I think about all of the venues across the state where our cakes are and how they're such a big part of people's celebrations. So I appreciate you mentioning that you've seen them in different venues around because it really, really means a lot to us to be part of that uh, important day for so many folks.
Right.
They look gorgeous. They absolutely do. So tell us about this secret four-step process to designing your wedding cake.
Well, it's not going to be so secret after this, I guess.
No, it won't. I
Uh,
know.
well, we think that there shouldn't be a lot of stress around cake, right? So, cake's supposed to be fun and fabulous and delicious, and the process of designing your wedding cake should be easy and something that everybody gets excited about. So, we've tried to break it down into a simple four-step process, and our team we're experts in this field, so we can really help couples to get it done, and to have fun while doing it. So our four-step process is basically step one, scheduling your design consultation, and that's a time for the couples to talk one-on-one with one of our cake designers. our designers are super creative. They're on top of every trend and what's going on in the industry. And they're able to walk you through the process to help you have a fun time planning the cake of your dreams. So, scheduling the consultation is the first step. And that's because we do so many weddings that we do typically have a 12-week plus wait for a consultation appointment.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so we like people to schedule about 6 to 8 months before their event, which gives them time to speak with our design team about 3 months before their event. And it just takes the stress off. Everybody's busy, so it helps you get an appointment that works for you. Step two is while you're waiting to actually talk to the designer to check out our tiered cake collections. On our website, under our weddings tab, we have the last 3 years, 22, 23, and 24, our cake collections there. And I think the 24 collection is about 74 pages of cake designs.
Oh my God.
So there
Wow.
are so many things you can take a look at and choose from. But the best part
Inspiration.
about our cake designs are that you're not locked into anything you see. You can mix and match. So you can like a top tier of one cake and the coloring of another cake, and maybe add an element from a third cake and really make it your own. So these are just for you to start to formulate your ideas. We are not a cake by number place, not in the least. Everything we do is custom.
That does not sound like it's making it any easier so far, I just have to tell you.
Well, having a lot of choices can be overwhelming, but it's also very liberating because you know
Right.
there's so many
Personalized.
things you can do. And it's important to us for all of our cakes that we bring a little bit of the couple's personality to the
Hmm.
cake. So it really fits them and it doesn't just look like a cookie cutter cake.
Yeah, that's, I love that Celia and I, as wedding officiants and writing ceremonies and performing them, we always talk about personalizing the
Yes.
ceremony and instead of the cookie cutter one, and I hear it's carried through in designing your cake. And you take the two personalities together, what if one person likes the top tier of this one and the other person wants to add the bottom tier of that one. You can mix and match and make it your perfect cake.
Absolutely, and that's where our designers come in too. We were able to break up a lot of arguments and say, "Well, how about this solution?" And there's a
There you
way you
go.
can both have what you want, and so that's part of the fun of the process.
Wow.
Um, the step three, though, seems to be the favorite step, which is tasting, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
at
yeah.
that point, couples customize their taster kit, and it's basically a take home date night taster kit.
Yes.
So it's adorable. They choose exactly what they want in the box. So again, it's personalized. They look at the menu, they pick what they'd like, and we customize the box for them. When they pick up the box, everything is separately packaged, cake filling and frosting, so that they can mix and match. They
That
set
is
it
such
up.
a great idea.
It's so
Yeah.
fun. They're not locked into any flavor combinations. So they set it up like a flight. They lay it all out and they're able to try different combinations. And really, from what they taste, they can come up with so many different options. We do include a scorecard, and that's where they'll keep track of what they like. Typically, the grooms really like the scorecard, they get excited about that. It gives everybody a chance to participate in the process.
That sounds like such a
That's
great
funny.
idea.
The grooms like the scorecard. That's good. That's great. And you set it up like a flight. That's fabulous. A date night of cake tasting. What a fun night.
Exactly. We suggest getting a bottle of wine or champagne or coffee, whatever it is you enjoy, and really making this an intimate um, time for you as a couple to have fun, taste cake, play around with different flavor pairings, and kind of come up with what's going to be really special for you. So it's a super fun part of the process. And so once they do taste, they just let their designer know what their favorites were, and then we can help finalize their order. Step four, that's the fun time. That's where you think beyond your cake and you think about edible favors, groom's cakes, or any other desserts that you want to serve at your wedding. And we have every kind of fun favor option. Edible favors are terrific. Everybody loves them. I'm
Mm.
not knocking traditional favors, but how many votive candles can you have?
Yeah,
Right.
we
But
say that all the
everybody
time.
loves
Yep.
a food favor, so we're big proponents of that.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. That's been my advice to our couples for nobody wants like a koozie with your wedding date on it. No, no,
No, you
no.
you want to get home after the wedding, your feet are hurting from dancing, and you sit down and you go, "Oh yeah, look what we have." Let's have a
Exactly. Or the
midnight
next
snack.
or the next morning, sometimes you're so full after the wedding, but the next morning it's like, oh, we have a little bit of this wedding left we can enjoy with our coffee. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. It really is. We love working with the couples. We have had so many great couples come through our doors and work with us. And and some of them have become our lifelong customers. I mean, we've gotten to see their baby shower cakes and see their baby's first birthday cakes. And it's just been really fun to kind of grow up with everybody.
How
That
special
really
is
is.
that? How special is that? Celia and I were saying the other day, because it is a baby blessing season right now. We have a lot of baby blessings because we
Yeah.
do weddings as well. How special it is when the couple hires you to officiate their wedding, and then you get a call in a couple of years and to do the baby blessing, and then the second baby, and then the sister gets married, and then you see the family, over and over again,
Yep.
and that is very, very special.
It's
Um,
very rewarding, and we work really hard. This is a hard industry, and
Yep.
we in particular make a lot of cakes, and we get to celebrate with people. And when you get to see the look on people's face, or you get the email after the wedding, I actually got one this morning saying the cake was amazing, and it made our day. That makes all the hours worth it.
Yeah, it's so true. It is an insanely hard business. It's like hours and hours and hours and heat and why didn't I get that shipment? People don't, understand. It's like the thing that makes me the one of the things that makes me nuts is like, well, I think my cousin's gonna make the cake. It's like, oh, that is such a bad idea. That is just so bad. It's like, no, don't have your
Well,
cousin make the cake.
I'm
No.
glad you're saying it because people, if I say it, it seems like it's just because I don't want to, I want the business. I mean,
right.
I'm not going to lie. I want the business, but I also want your
Yeah.
wedding cake to be everything you want it to be. And I've seen and I've saved quite a few disasters over my years. I've gotten the last minute call saying the cake is on its side in the car because the cousin
Yeah.
made it and we need a cake. So we've saved a few weddings that way too, but why go through that?
Exactly. And I get nervous for the couple. Sometimes you get a call, we'll get calls, are you available like in 2 weeks or something to officiate
Yeah.
our wedding? My cousin or friend was going to do it, and now they have cold feet and they're starting to get really worried. And are you
Mhm.
available? And a lot of times, we're already booked, and then I start getting real nervous for them. Let me call around and see if I can find someone for you.
Yep.
I get like
Yeah.
so
Yep.
nervous.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I get like the same pit in my
those poor
stomach
people,
that they
let's make
have.
it work.
yeah, you guys care. You guys care, and
Like
so do
you,
we. And
yeah. Yeah.
you want to be able to help as much as possible, but listen, have your family and friends be part of the wedding, but not be a vendor for your wedding.
Right, not be a vendor, right. Uh, so you've been doing this for 22 years now?
Yes.
How did you get started? What
Wow.
drew
Well,
you to the business?
we definitely don't have enough time for the whole
Oh,
story, but
okay.
I'll give you the nutshell.
Okay.
So when I was a kid in high school and college, I worked in a sweet shop. And there were a lot of similarities to what I do now. And I always loved it. And it was super fun for me. And I baked and I drew. I was an artist. My father was an artist. And so I always drew and painted and had a lot of creativity. But I didn't think this was going to be my life's path at all. I have my master's in international affairs, and
What?
I worked, yes, I worked a job on Wall Street for a Mexican bank for a number of years, and then in a consulting firm, and
Wow.
followed a very different path, but
Wow.
always had this love. And besides, and not the least of which, I love to eat dessert. I love dessert. So when my kids were little, 4 and 1, and I had the realization that they're probably not going to know me because I work so much. I want to do something on my own. So I decided to pursue a business in dessert. That set off a big chain of events, but that's the part you don't probably want to know all about. But in reality, it was a really big growth experience for me, and I thought that it was going to give me more time with my kids. That didn't really pan out that way, but
Yeah.
they got to spend a lot of time with me at the bakery,
Right.
and it was a very difficult beginning for us, but we've come a long way and have really, I'm so proud of the way that we've built this business.
Yes.
It's really a fantastic story. And, you know, having been a caterer myself, I can just like so relate to what your story. And, you know, I feel like it's so inspiring for other people to hear that, you know, you have a dream and you should follow that dream. And, you know, it's never a straight line to a dream, you know, and Andrea can testify to that too, not in the food industry, but, you know, we're both women entrepreneurs and have been for years. And, you know, but there's nothing, I don't think, you know, besides, you know, having children that you have successful children and you have a great family. But besides that, I think that one of the most fantastic things is to dream something up and watch it be so successful, because obviously you're very successful and your work is gorgeous. I love the video. Everybody has to just go to your site to watch the video and watch the sprinkles fall from the sky. It's like so fabulous. But it's really inspiring. You know, it's not only do you have beautiful products, and I'm sure I wish we had smell-o-vision. It would be great. But you know, the story is wonderful too. You know, it's like, I wanted to do something I love to do. Not that it's going to be easier, you know, that saying that people, you know, often spew out. It's like, well, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. It's like, oh, really? You know, you will work. It's ridiculous. You'll work
they
3
call it-
times as hard. Yeah.
Right, they call it work for a reason.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but you know, I agree with you. It is very, very rewarding. It's very hard, but when you look back over the journey, you can see, and it's not always a straight line. You make mistakes along the way.
Right.
You learn. I'm still learning, but also, I have a great team that I work with. My team is amazing, so I
That's
can never
key.
do it
Yeah.
myself. They're very creative. They're smart, they care, so that's important. I have my husband with me full time. He is with me since 1 year in. I
Aw.
worked him into coming to the bakery, and he's been with me the whole time. And my family has really supported me. Both of my kids worked at the bakery for a time. They have careers now of their own, but they still help me. They help me with my social media. They help
Mhm.
me with, you know, all kinds of things all the time. I'm always running things by them and getting their advice because they're very accomplished and smart.
Right.
You can't do it alone.
Right.
And part of what I wanted to do was to allow women, especially women, but men and women, who have a love for dessert and creativity, a place to build a career and not just have a job. And I think I've accomplished that. And that's probably one of the most important things I think I've gotten to do. It means a lot to me.
That's tremendous. It
That
really
is. That's That's
Yeah.
really great, you know.
And you know, it's interesting the way that these things, when I had no idea that you had been doing this for 22 years. And you know, the fashions change and the styles change, even the style of working, you know, how you want your clients to work with you changes. I think I love the 4-step. Well, of course, I like the tasting step too. That was my favorite part. But you know, it really says a lot about the care with which you treat your business. You know, it's not like, here's a cake box with 4 chunks of cake in it. It's very intentional and articulate. And I would, if you approached me that way, I'd be like, I don't even need to taste them. I want to hire her. I don't.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. I mean, we try. It's very, very important to us that we're unique. We try to be modern. We try to listen to what people like, and we try to accomplish that. It's not a perfect world, but we work real hard to try to get 99.9%. I think that's pretty good. I'll take it.
No, that's good. So what's okay, here's a question for you. What are you seeing trend what and we're not like big trend people like, oh, you have to have
Mhm.
Yeah, but are there
this
any
thing because it's
trends?
everywhere. But like
Yeah.
what are you seeing your people going forward in the near future? What are you seeing them pick? What are or like
I remember when the
design-wise or-
naked cake was a
Oh
trend.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Give me all the buttercream right now.
So I think, well, first of all, wedding cakes are in again. They
Yeah.
went through a period where cupcake towers were very popular.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I mean, I love a wedding cake. Because it's not just
Yeah,
dessert, but it's also a centerpiece.
it's
And
decor.
it's
Yeah.
in your
Or-
pictures and it coordinates with your decor. It's just a big part of the day.
Totally.
People are doing mixed flavors, so more than one flavor inside the cake. We're seeing that a lot. In terms
Mhm.
of design, texture is in. So different types of texture on the icing.
Mm.
Buttercream is
Mhm.
back, less fondant. And I think
I like
also even a little bit of metallic.
Oh,
Gold especially. Gold is super hot right now. But gold and silver metallics are something that we're seeing a lot of.
that sounds like fun. I like
Yeah.
it.
I
like it.
like these trends now. I'm a buttercream person. I like the
Me too.
metallic and
Me too.
I like a cake. I think that's so true. They are the centerpiece, and I think it's fun to pick out the decorations for them.
It's
Well,
it's a lot of fun. And also, don't forget, I think wedding cake gets a bad rap, right? People are like, oh, the wedding cake's never good. Well, I
yeah.
wouldn't say never. I think our wedding cakes are amazing. They're
Right.
fresh. We don't make them ahead. And you have to approach your wedding cake as dessert
As
because it's
dessert.
the last thing that people are going to eat at your wedding. So
Yeah.
it's what have you done for me lately, right? So the cake should be good. It should be
Right.
delicious and beautiful. And finding that balance is our challenge. And I think we do it well.
Right.
Well,
Right.
and philosophically speaking too, to get a little bit deep, I think the concept of a wedding cake is that everybody at your wedding is sharing the same dessert with you. You're a unified group of people having something the same all
I
together.
like that.
And yeah, and
I
I
like
don't know.
that.
There's something about like I don't know. I like a good cupcake too, but a wedding, it's not like a school lunch, okay? It's your wedding. You
Yeah.
need like something big and grand and fabulous, and it is decor as much as it is a dessert.
Absolutely. You
Mhm.
know what we did for my daughter's wedding, right? Did you hear about it?
I can't even imagine. Oh my
What did
God.
you do?
So my oldest daughter got married in 2022. My younger daughter is getting married in March of 25. So I'm planning for I have to even do something even more grandiose now.
Okay.
I have to top myself. But um for my older daughter, we did a wedding cake on every table. It was the table centerpiece.
I love that
So
idea.
What a
I do.
so
great idea.
It
so she had
is.
19 wedding cakes.
Wow.
She had a big 5-tiered cake, which was her display cake, and then every table had a 2-tiered cake decorated with fresh florals on a marble cake stand, which was the table centerpiece. We put the table number right in the top of the cake, and it
That's
was
great.
really, really beautiful. It actually got picked up and we got like a nice magazine feature on it because it
That's
looked
such a
so
good idea.
pretty.
But it's such a great idea. I wrote a blog post about that probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. And it's such a great idea because of course you have fabulous dessert, but it also like you have somebody at that table who's going to be the designated cake cutter. And it's such a conversation piece. It's so
Well,
great.
yeah, we actually had all the cakes pulled by the caterer and sliced and served.
Oh, okay.
So we had 5 different flavors, 500 slices of cake for 150 people. So we had lots of cake.
Lots of
But
cake.
I think a couple of the tables, especially their young friends, they just ate them with a fork right out on the table. So that was
That's
Yeah.
fun too.
hilarious. I
We
love
had
it.
we had a lot of fun with it. We really did.
I love it. I can't even imagine I hope you're not planning on jumping out of your next daughter's cake. Okay.
Now that would be different. That would be
Could be
different.
different. Yeah, I
She
kind of
would
like it.
disown me, but yeah,
Oh
that'd
my
be it
God.
for me.
Do you still see a lot of grooms cakes?
Oh, tons of grooms cakes, more than
Okay, so
ever.
they are still
Really?
popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Tons of grooms cakes, people don't always know what they are, but basically it's a great way to honor your groom,
Hmm.
or your other half. And they could be something, even a couple's cake, because a lot of people will use the groom's cake at the rehearsal dinner. You need
Yeah.
dessert
Oh,
anyway.
that's a great idea.
And you do something that's themed. So even if it's a couple's cake, like we're campers, so we do a camping theme for our rehearsal dinner, or
Yeah.
he's a big football fan, or whatever it is, we
Star
can
Wars,
incorporate
yeah.
that into Star Wars is big. For my son-in-law, we did the Stanley Cup with beer pouring into it because he loves beer and he loves hockey. So you can kind of take people's again, their personality, right? And things that they love, and have some fun with it. It's a great time to have some
Yeah,
fun. You can
that
do it at
seems
the
like the
rehearsal
fun
dinner, or
cake. Yeah,
yeah,
you can
or the
get
wedding.
fun and silly with that cake, right? And then
Right.
go glam with the
Right.
wedding cake.
Oh, I
Right.
kind of love that.
Yeah.
We do every kind of food. We've done tacos, we've done cheesesteak. We just did spaghetti and meatballs, a cake that was spaghetti and meatballs. So the food ones are fun because we of course eat for inspiration the actual food while we make the cake.
I
Hey,
see.
of course. Listen, you have to do your research, right? I mean, of course.
You,
Definitely.
you have a fabulous website, and there is a tab with pictures of all of these. I don't know, is that a ham? It looks like a ham. There's
Oh my God.
That's
there's
that's a
Jameson.
prosciutto. A
Oh,
prosciutto.
the prosciutto. We're in Jersey. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh
I
my
s-
God.
I see a lot of fun. Really makes you smile. Yeah, beautiful ones. And then I also see, for like the baby blessings and the baptisms, lots of beautiful cakes there. You do everything, graduation and everything. So
We
uh,
do it all.
I will tell our listeners that we will have a link to chocolatecarousel.com, to their website, this beautiful website, for you to browse around and see and contact Lisa and her staff through. We will also have a link to their Instagram account, so you can go in and get some inspiration from there as well, and contact through there, I'm sure. And I want to say thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, this
It
was so
was
fun.
great.
This was fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
It was
Thank
so
you.
fun.
And I'm sure that we will see you maybe even this upcoming weekend. It's going to be fun driving out there this weekend, but sometime I'm sure I will be running into, if not you, your cakes during this
We'll
wedding season.
we'll be
Just have
waiting for you.
so, well, good luck and good luck and good wishes for your husband and a speedy
Yes.
recovery. And but that's, I think, kind of, it's kind of interesting that he was like surprised by the surgery. He didn't have a chance to even like think about it, and now it's going to be over. So that's great.
Yeah.
Precisely.
That's great.
Exactly.
All
Then he
right.
can get back to making cake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really. I mean, what is this? It's like, it's a good excuse, but come on, the weekend's coming.
Right. Yeah. But his boss is tough. His
Back in
boss
the-
wants him back to work right away.
Oh gosh, Lisa, thank you so much. It was
Thank you.
wonderful
Thanks for
to
having
talk to
me. It
you.
was great talking to you guys. I
Bye-bye.
appreciate
Keep us
it.
posted.
Bye-bye. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes.